Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. What I do, what I do for you. Well, I'm back in the book. I got something nice for you today. Nice, not too long. Nice, good lesson, though. Let's go. Let's do what we do. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. The message and story for life. I don't like this. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving it. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission. And yeah, that's what I'm on. And this, my eyes killing me. I don't know what's going on with this nonsense. Through Right Thinkers, my mission I'm on is to enlighten, inspire, motivate, and excuse me, educate and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be just that, to know thyself. That's what I'm here to do for you. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. That's what I do for you. I got you. Let's do it. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right? Think of know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Today we're going to talk about next level admonitions for those who wish to follow right thinking philosophy, aka the spiritual path. That's what I'm on. That's what I want you to get to understand. If you're on the spiritual path, this is what you need to be doing. So that's why I break it down for you. Let's go. Let's start with learn to see what? Learn to wish for what is just. Learn to dare what your conscience dictates. And the conscience is spelled with CONSCIENCE. That means your heart conscious. Just to let you know what your heart dictates, okay? Learn to keep your intentions a secret. And if despite all your efforts, today brings what? No more than yesterday, then what? Do not lose courage, but continue steadfastly by keeping what? Your goals before you with determination. Onward, the seven companions of the soul, the planetary spirits, they tell you seven chakras, they tell you seven planets, and the secret key which locks what? The past and opens the future. Let your efforts be aimed at the crown of the master. That means you want to become your best self. You want to become master of yourself by paying attention and listening to your master. Moi, trust me. Let's start with it goes here. If you're a devotee of Aset, watch this. Aset is one who ponders over sacred matters and seeks therein for the hidden truth. I don't need the superficial. Give me the truth. Just give me the bottom line. I ain't got time for the fluff, I call it. I ain't got time for that. Just give me the bottom line, okay? So, what do you mean by the veil of Aset? Aset represents intuitive knowledge, wisdom, himself. When the veil is lifted, that means you're becoming smarter. You lift the veil of ignorance. Watch this. I said, watch this. And all that has been, all that is, or shall be. And no, watch this, no mortal man have ever unveiled me. Why? You have to raise the consciousness to get there. Mortal man won't see her. That's why. And she's on the other side of consciousness. Watch this. What it means by unveiling, I said, is unveiling what? Our true self. One must what? Go beyond the mortal, waking consciousness to discover and unveil one's true nature through the process of, again, mortal man is ignorant. He can't see how the veil of ignorance covers him. That's why. Watch this. In the three phases that you need to process, you need to fully understand. And this is what it is. It haven't changed since it started. First is listening. You hear me, okay? Cool. What you hear, you reflect on. You ponder it, think about it. A lot of people's stuff go in one and out the other. That means it's not stopping in between. Okay. So, and after reflecting on it, give it some thought. Meditate. Meditate on it. That means submit it, lock it into your psyche, put it into your mental concept. So now you have an understanding of how to learn and incorporate information. So these may be further clarified as what? As follows. The first one is awakening of the spiritual self. How you do that? By becoming God conscious or conscious of the divine presence where? Within oneself. Ordinarily, that's a drop the pen moment right there. That says it all right there. I'm just getting started. All right, let's go. Next one is purgation, purgation of the self. What that means? Purification. Negative thoughts out. Bad stuff out. Anything that's not good out. Purification of the mind and the body through what? Spiritual discipline. I just told you. All that stuff that out. Don't serve a purpose. It's got to go. You, the aspirant, try to what? You try to totally surrender personally, identify what or ego to the divine, your inner self, which is the universal bar of all life. Union with the divine self is the goal. We call it the divine marriage. The heart and mind have to come together as one. That's you knowing you for real. Can't get no pain. The ego self will have to submit to the what? Higher self, the true you, the real you. The ego you is why you don't know you. Because if you think your ego's in control, I got some stuff for that too. I don't want to get ahead of myself. That's just a lesson about the ego. I ain't done with you. Moving on. Next one is now. Illumination of the intellect. What the hell? Hell yeah, okay. Illuminate means to shine light on, to mean enlighten. Illuminate, enlighten, that's what it means. I'm enlightening you to improve your intellect with knowledge of self, spiritual knowledge of God. Watch this. Experience and appreciation of what? The divine presence doing what? Your reflection and your meditation. When you go into prayer and meditation time, that's you connecting with your higher self. When you're praying, it's fine. That means you're talking. Who you talking to? That's between you and your God. But when you meditate, you get to know who you're talking to. Why? Because he'll talk back. That's the concept. Mind control. Mind control through wisdom. When you thinking right, your actions will be right. That's virtue. To know to do the right thing when you're supposed to, when you have to, even if you don't feel like it or really want to. That's a lesson we all have to learn. I'm still getting better at it. I'm learning too. Okay, I'm not beyond that. So it's a constant struggle, day to day. Mind control through what? Through wisdom. What that mean? Thinking, thinking, right understanding, right reasoning will what? Will call not these soul. They are in actions, but they are not its essence. Again, these are qualities, these are things you can do, but that ain't who and what you really are. Understand that. That's the mind. Study, patience, detachment, and dispassion. These again, qualities that you can stand by, principles that you can live by. Why? Because these are the keys that open the way to what? Control of your mind. The teaching is not salvation. What you do with it determines your salvation or what? Your bondage to birth and death. Meaning, if you don't awaken, you're going to be born again. You're going to die again if it what? Don't happen for the next life. So you only get one shot at it. But the spirit keeps going on and on. So it's up to you. Again, your choice. And watch this. Birth and death. Now, beyond the teaching lies what? Salvation. But you have to earn it. You have to put the work in. No man is responsible for you but you or woman. Watch this. It cannot be gained through what? Through thought alone. You just can't think it. That is what? It cannot be achieved how? By thinking. It must be known by initiation. Excuse me, intuition. Sorry about that. You should be intuitively knowing who and how you are from the practice and the times you put in to learn thyself. Now, speaking of that, I like the segue. We're going into now the concept of knowing thyself. 35 years ago, I heard the phrase sun and bottom, where the serpent, the cobra was up, shining the rays into a man's head, and he's raising up. I had been in Masonic order. I thought that was the craziest thing I ever was saying. But that was called the supreme good. Son of Bunna means the supreme good. That means living your best life. That's what I'm teaching to this day. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while. So let me get to this question. Let me go to this next concept of know thyself. That's my whole goal. My mantra is know thyself. So this is my wheelhouse. Yeah, I got a little time. Have some fun. I got a page and a half of information. I'm gonna go through it right quick for you. Should be interesting. Now, know thyself, aka the supreme good. The best you can do for you is to know you. I might get a little excited, so bear with me. I'm amped up right now. The purpose. Listen, please. The purpose of all human life is to achieve a state of consciousness apart from what your bodily concern. Understand, just your five senses, you're more than that. That's just a body conscious. It tastes, touch, see, smell, and hear. Understand that. But you're more than that. Watch this. Man is to become, are you listening? God-like. Again, through what? A life of virtue. No man can come to the Father without coming through that virtue. And watch this, the cultivation of the Spirit through what? Scientific knowledge, studying, understanding, manifesting for yourself. Why? Because it's real when you manifest it. And guess what? Practice and bodily discipline, mind, body, and soul. When you work all three of those in sequence and you keep them all lined up, your body will function like a well-groomed machine. That's what your concept is. What's going on in here goes on out here. If you in line with your thoughts, you right thinking right, acting right, being right, guess what? You got guaranteed long life. Why? Because the body will just continue to do just that. Moving on. Salvation. What do you mean by salvation? Listen, salvation is the freeing of the soul from the bodily fetters. Let's get that lesson a minute ago. What that means? Becoming a God through what? Knowledge. You can't become God through belief. I just told you that. You can't think it, you can't believe it. You got to intuitively know it by what? Experience it for yourself. God is an experience. And it's a mental, but then it becomes physical. Once you get the concept here and here, it becomes one. Watch this. You go God through knowledge and wisdom. Again, controlling what? The forces of the cosmos. Luke, use the force. Other than what? Instead of being a slave to them. If you out of tune with nature, you out of tune with time, you ain't never gonna be in tune with nothing. Your rhythm gonna be all off. So watch this. And subduing what? Main right thinkers subduing your lower nature, and through awakening of your higher self, you end the cycle of what? You ready? Rebirth, and dwell with the netters who direct to control the great plane. I mean, you going up in heaven with your father, with the other people who made it there because they became spiritually awakened, not because they believed. Okay, moving on. Make your life, right thinkers. This was my mantra 30 years ago. Make your life the subject of intense inquiry. Learn, know all you could about yourself and what happened. In this way, what? you will discover its goal, direction, and destiny. And that lesson for you coming up with spiritual destiny. Okay, and watch this. To free the spirit, you have to control the senses. That means the body, the physical body. And what happened? The reward would be clear insight into what one's true self, aka knowing thyself. That's the goal for all right thinkers. Now let's go to the next one right quick. The way to immortality. We had a concept of the afterlife. This life we know is temporary. But if you woke up, your consciousness became one with your higher self, knowing who you are when you come in the physical form. When this physical form is over, you get your wings and you go home. Why? Because you know that self. You can't go home not knowing who you are. That's the concept. So hope you can get the concept. Oh yeah, it makes sense. There you go. If you go to somebody's house and who are you? I don't know. What you doing here? I don't know. It won't work that way. Okay. No mistakes. Moving on. Let me wrap this up. I'll run through this one. Now, from the ancient scriptures, we have books that they done stuff other than the book that they found in the people's graves too. Okay. Understand that. But to know God, understand this is from scripture. To know God, strive to grow in stature, where beyond all measure, being your best self, conceive that here is nothing beyond the capabilities, beyond thy capabilities, excuse me. Know thyself is what? Deathless and able to know all things, all arts, all sciences, the way of every life. That's having knowledge of self. And what? You become higher what? Than the highest height and lower than the lowest depth. Amidst in thyself all senses of the animals, fire, water, dryness, moisture. Think of thyself in all places at what? All the same time. Earth, sea, sky, not yet born, in the womb, young, old, dead, and in where? Here we go. After death state. In the next life, you have to realize, well, that's what the concept. It's some things that you need to do while you're here to get there. That's the key. That's the name of the game. But watch this. Now, indeed, they who what? Who yonder, those who live what? Righteously, will join who? God when? After death. I gave you the concept of judgment day, but this is what their concept was. You have to die to get to God. But you become God-like in the flesh while you're living. And you do that, that guarantees your ticket to go to him in the afterlife. That was universal. That wasn't just for a few people, just for us right things. No, it was for everybody. Sorry. And watch this. Those who will be living gods in the flesh, watch this, punishing anyone who what? Commits a sin. The punishment for sin was death, meaning you couldn't go on to the afterlife if you was a sinner. Why? Because your heart gets heavy and you won't make it. That's why you missed the mark by what? Not living Maya. And watch this. Now, indeed, they who what are yonder will stand in the boat, aka the Bargara, causing what? The choicest offerings in it to be given to the temples. When you go, you bring your best effort. You bring whatever you got to the temple to make donation. Watch this. Now, indeed, he who is yonder will become what? A sage. I ain't got my hat. Why? Who will not be hindered from what? From appealing to God whenever they speak. Makalu, the truth. Okay? If you seek God, what should happen? You seek for the beautiful. One is the path, what's this? That leads unto who? God. Devotion joined with what? Gnosis. Again, devotion with action. Devotion with gnosis. Gnosis means to know. Okay? Now, for the for the ill, watch this, or the ignorant, that's what you call you. Death, for the ill or the ignorant, thou pour what? Over all the earth and overwhelm the soul that battened down within the body. And what happens? Preventing it from finding salvation. That means you're going to get a reincarnation. Why? You haven't enlightened yourself. You haven't found salvation. You haven't freed yourself of the bodily fetters. You're still egoistic. Simple. That's the concept. Moving on. I'm almost done. Yeah. Now God sheds light on they who what? Who shape the clouds of ignorance, of error, from what? Their soul. Change the way you're doing things, do the right thing. And watch this. And cite the brilliancy of truth, mingling themselves with what? All the senses of the divine intelligence, meaning doing the right thing, and through love, and of which they win what? Their freedom. And here we go. From what? From that part over which death rules. Ignorance. Okay, fear. You rule by fear, and that's what your fear what? Dying. So the death rules that aspect of your consciousness. And watch this. Has the seed of what? The assurance of future deathlessness implanted in him. This then is how what? The good will differ from the bad. When you aspire to do the right thing, you will do that. If not, you'll do whatever you want to do. And there's a penalty that comes with that. Moving on. Now the path, here you go. The path of immortality is what? Is hard. Why? Only a few find it. Why? The rest will await what? The great day. Everybody waiting for the Messiah to come and save them. Those are the ones who won't make it. What's this? The rest await the great day, the 144,000 to go up on the nonsense. But excuse me, sorry about that. The rest will await the great day when what? When the wheels of the universe shall be stopped, and the immortal sparks shall escape from what? The sheath of substance. Woe unto those who what? Who wait, for they must return again, aka they're unconscious and they're unknowing to the seed ground of stars and await a new beginning. Yeah, reincarnation. You're gonna get a do-over. I hear people talking about when I come back, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna come back as that. I don't want to come back. Because if you come back, that means you didn't learn why you was here. So I ain't trying to come back one way. I'm going that way. Moving on. Let me wrap this up. Sorry about that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'm hoping to get my point across, but that's the main goal. Who has eaten, watch this, the knowledge of every God, meaning learning every aspect. I'm trying to tell you, when you eat this knowledge, what happens? Their existence is for all eternity and everlasting, what? In their spirit body. What they willeth, they doeth. If then thou learn that thou art who? Thyself of life and light, and that thou only happens to what? Be out of them, thou shalt not return again to life. If you become awakened, you acknowledge yourself, you won't be coming back. That's what I keep telling you. I want my right fingers to be that way, one way. Now, to wrap it up for you. Now, unless thou first shalt hate what? Thy body, thou canst not love thyself. Love for self is important. Watch this. But if thou love thyself, thou shalt have what? Intellect. And having intellect, which is knowledge, thou shalt share in what? The gnosis. Gnosis will lead to what? Love. You can learn and understand. And what? Love leads to salvation. Wrapping it up. The union of the word and the mind produces what? That mystery which is called life. Learn deeply of the mind and its mysteries for what? Therein lies the secret of immortality. Anything built, watch this, by humanity for its glorification will what? Eventually fall. Only that which is built according to what? The great law of the cosmos will transcend. Wrapping it up for you. And that is a soul when from the body free, what happens? If it has fought what? The fight of piety to do what? To know thyself, aka God, and to what? Do wrong to no one, such a soul becomes entirely pure. Okay, purification of what? Righteous actions and living right. That's the concept. That's what they're telling you. Wrapping it up, taking it home. And where is what? The impious soul, the ignorant soul, is that it is what? A slave to what? Its passions, its earthly desires, and now is chastised through what? Death. By what? Its own self. I keep telling you, the ego is a man with a hatchet to his head. And unless you raise past that level, you're going to be self destructive and death is imminent for you. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got it. I'll be back. You know the deal.